For Galaxy, for the crypto industry, I couldn't be more optimistic.
The way this is going to be regulated, because now you have a bet going that there will be a Bitcoin reserve.
I'm not sure
play,
we end up
play
getting
out
a
the
Bitcoin.
permutations here.
I think the biggest thing is
Galaxy CEO Mike Novogratz talks about Bitcoin as being the Federal Reserve and much, much more. Let's have a listen.
Prices, they are surging right now. This after Donald Trump's electoral victory. You're looking at Bitcoin at $73,000, almost $74,000 this morning. At one point, it was, I think, even marginally higher. Want to bring in Galaxy founder and CEO Mike Novogratz. Mike, I believe that you were supporting the other candidate, but I'm curious, as you see these markets moving the way they are, what your reaction is.
Listen, it was a great night for the crypto industry, right? And if you listen to your last guest, Donald Trump, that keeps his promises. If you go back to the speech he made at Nashville to the crypto community, his agenda is very pro-crypto. J.D. Vance is pro-crypto, Peter Thiel, Howard Lutnick, Kennedy. He surrounded himself by people that believe in the industry, care about the industry. I mean, the crypto community showed up, right? There are now over 240 congressmen who, the crypto pack thought were pro-crypto. And so we've got a Congress that is moving our way. We've got a president that's moving our way. And so for Galaxy, for the crypto industry, I couldn't be more optimistic.
And in terms of your optimism, it relates to the way this is going to be regulated, because now you have a bet going that there will be a Bitcoin reserve for the country. I mean, sort of. Listen,
I'm not sure we end up
play
getting
out the permutations here.
I think the biggest thing is the OCC, the FDIC, the SEC, the regulatory chairs getting direction from a president and a secretary of Treasury that says, hey, we want to lead in this industry. Those three positions with someone who's open-minded to crypto and who's pro-crypto changes everything. Allowing State Street and Bank of New York to custody crypto, allowing the banks to hold it on their balance sheet, will bring in billions, hundreds of billions of participants into our ecosystem. And all of a sudden, we'll start seeing decentralized systems launched and work. And so this is really a step change shift. Now, it's not going to happen overnight, right? You don't get a new SEC chair in a week. But over the next 1, 2, 3, 6 months, as these new people are put in these positions, I think you're going to see a substantial, shift in the energy of this industry.
Mike, to the extent you want to throw out some names, who do you think might be up for this SEC role? I know we've had a lot of names thrown around for the Treasury Secretary role. We just talked to Scott Bessent, and we had John Paulson on the program earlier this week. Those are two names that have been floated for that role. We also have had Jay Clayton and others. Who do you think would be the right person to run the SEC under a second Trump administration?
Listen, Hester Pierce has been there, and they call her crypto mom. And I know she's probably throwing her name in the hat. The chief legal officer at Robinhood has been thrown in. I'm not sure the exact person matters as long as they're very open-minded to this industry. And I think there's just no way Trump's not going to pick someone who, listen, right. He's launched his own coin. And so, his family is engaged, he's engaged. And so I just think it's hard to you got to wake up and slap yourself in the face. We have gone 4 years of a very, very difficult regulatory environment, and that's all about to change.
Right. Hey, Mike, can you put your macro hat on for a moment this morning? I'm curious if you were investing more broadly outside of the crypto space, where you think the winners and losers are?
Yeah, listen, I think in the short run, right, emerging market currencies, China are getting hit. You're seeing it today. I'd probably be a buyer of Chinese stocks on any dip because I think the Chinese are going to respond with a big stimulus package. I like the yield curve getting steeper. There's one, I guess, wild hair out there, right? Elon Musk was really the only person on either side during the campaign that talked about America going bankrupt, that talked about this giant deficit that we have that we need to do something about. If that's the case, if they actually take him seriously and do something, and Bessent alluded to it, that would change things. right? That would change things in yield curve. It would change things in gold and silver. I don't think it will happen. I don't think Donald Trump has it in him after having just got this mandate to say, oh, I've got to tighten my belt. I just don't see it. I don't see us, Social Security and Medicare really are the two things you'd have to go out and attack, really unpopular politically. And so one of the reasons
so how much progress, therefore, do you think that Elon Musk can make then?
Very little. Again,
With
57%.
He doesn't do little. Mike, have you not watched Elon Musk? He's landing rockets between chopsticks. He doesn't do little.
Listen, it will be interesting, but you've got to let's see what the House comes at. I think the Republicans will win the House, but it's going to be very close. And so you're not going to have a giant majority in the House. You don't have 60 in the Senate. And guess who gets to decide who gets to spend money? Right? Congress, not the president. And so it's always easy to get euphoric about, oh, this is all going to happen. Listen, Social Security, Medicare, and Treasury financing is 57% of the budget. Add the military on, and you're at like 75%. And so you got 25% to play with. It's hard to cut a lot out, right? We have a $6.75 trillion budget. 25% of that, for Elon Musk to cut $2 trillion out of the budget, you'd have to cut 100% of non-Medicare, Social Security, and debt service and military. And so I'm hoping he makes progress. Trust me, if Harrison won, the first tweet I was going to send was, please hire Elon Musk to help on, efficiency in the government. I really think it's an amazingly good idea, and I'm hoping he makes progress. I just think it's a lot harder than you think.
Right. For those folks out there thinking about equities this morning, especially S&P 500, obviously, which is weighted almost entirely or so much towards the big tech names, do you buy? I mean, clearly the market is suggesting that, but I ask because this is something you do for a living.
Yeah, listen, there's a ton of buybacks coming in the next few, 5-6 weeks. And so the supply demand tells you to buy equities. There's momentum on its side. We're about to take out, the recent high in NASDAQ. And so I think there's one last surge in equity prices. The risk, of course, is if the bond market doesn't like this, right? If bonds are down 2 points, if they fall another 3, 4, 5 points, at one point equities are going to say, hey, what's going on? But right now, it feels like equities higher, bonds lower.